Class 6, Science, Chapter 14. Water. Animated Science. Introduction. Water. Water is an important part of life on this planet. It is an odorless, tasteless liquid that covers more than 3/4 of the Earth's surface. Most of the water on Earth, 97% to be exact, is salt water found in the oceans. We cannot drink salt water or use it for watering the crops because of the salt content. Of all the water on Earth, only a small amount is available for us to use. Water is not only used for drinking, washing, watering plants, cleaning, but it is also used in various industries for producing almost all the things that we use. For example, to produce each page of a book, about 2 glasses of water is required. Water is the only substance that exists in 3 forms, that is liquid, gas, and solid. Evaporation. The process in which water changes into water vapor is called evaporation. For example, when the sun heats up water in the rivers, ponds, lakes, and oceans, the water turns into water vapor or steam. This water vapor or steam leaves the rivers, ponds, lakes, and oceans and goes into the air. This is evaporation. The water vapor formed from the oceans does not carry salt with it. Evaporation is a slow process. In sunlight, evaporation takes place faster. On heating water on a burner, evaporation takes place even faster. Transpiration. As plants absorb water from the soil, the water moves from the roots through the stems to the leaves. Once the water reaches the leaves, some of it evaporates from the leaves, adding to the amount of water vapor in the air. This process of evaporation through plant leaves is called transpiration. Transpiration gives evaporation a bit of a hand in getting the water vapor back up into the air. Condensation. The process in which water vapor changes into water is called condensation. These water droplets remain floating in the air and appear as clouds. Condensation is responsible for the formation of clouds. For example, when the air moves up, it gets cooler and cooler. At a certain height, the air becomes so cool that the water vapor present in it condenses to form tiny drops of water. Precipitation. When clouds or water droplets become too heavy, they start falling to the earth. These falling water drops are called rain. Precipitation causes rain, hail, sleet, and snowfall. Water sources. The water from the oceans, seas, reaches the rivers, lakes, ponds, wells through water cycle. This water can be then used by us. When the water evaporates from the oceans and seas, it leaves behind all the salt. Hence, the water we get back in the form of rain will not contain any salt in it. Some rainwater seeps into the ground as groundwater, which can be reused by us. It can be reused by drawing it from a tube well or a hand pump. Water cycle. The water cycle, also known as the hydrologic cycle, is the journey water takes as it circulates from the land to the sky and back again. The cycle includes precipitation, evaporation, condensation, and transpiration. Earth's water keeps changing from liquid water to vapor and then back again. This cycle takes place because of the sun's heat. Evaporation. Water from lakes, rivers, streams, and the oceans get heated by the sun and turns into water vapor that rises into the air. Transpiration. Plants are heated by the sun too and release water vapor into the air through their leaves. Condensation. The water vapor cools and forms water droplets which are so light that they remain floating in the sky in the form of clouds. Precipitation. When the water drops become heavier, they fall to the earth as rain. If they are frozen, they become snow or sleet. Once the water reaches the ground, it can flow across the land until it reaches rivers, lakes, streams, or the ocean. This is surface water. It can also sink into the ground and flow with gravity through gaps in rock, gravel, and sand until it reaches these bodies of water too. This is groundwater. This water cycle goes on and on forever on the earth. Amount of rainfall. The time, duration, and amount of rainfall vary from place to place. In some parts of the world it rains throughout the year, while in some parts it rains only for a few days. Excessive rainfall may lead to the rise in the water level of rivers, ponds, and lakes. This water may spread over large areas, causing floods. Floods can cause extensive damage to crops, animals, property, and human life. The entire village or city, crop fields, forests may get submerged underwater. On the other hand, if it does not rain in a region for a year or more, there may be a drought in that area. During a drought, the soil becomes dry and parched. The ponds and wells dry up, resulting in heavy losses to plant and animal life. Rainwater harvesting. Rainwater harvesting essentially means collecting rainwater and storing it for later use. The basic idea behind rainwater harvesting is to catch water where it falls. Rainwater harvesting is a way to capture rainwater, store that water, and use it later. All you need for a water harvesting system is rain and a place to collect it. Airports, temples, roads, highways, flyovers, parks, schools, colleges, hospitals, shopping arcades, all can be drawn into the net. All we need to do this is create rainwater tanks to store water. We could even dig huge pits. There are two techniques of rainwater harvesting. Rooftop rainwater harvesting. Typically, rainwater is collected on rooftops and other surfaces and the water carried down to where it can be used immediately or stored. You can direct water run off from the surface to plants, trees, lawns. The rainwater is collected from the rooftop through the pipes into a storage tank. This water may contain soil from the roof and need filtering before it is used. A pit in the ground. This water then seeps into the soil to refill the groundwater. In this technique, the rainwater is allowed to go directly from the roadside drains into the ground. Harvested rainwater can be used for flushing toilets, laundry, washing cars and floors, construction activities, industrial process usage, gardening, fountains and lakes. Water conservation. As the population is growing, the demand for water is increasing day by day. More and more people are using up the limited resource, water. Therefore, it is important to use water wisely and not waste it. Ways to save water indoors. Check all faucets or taps, pipes and toilets for leaks. Install water-saving shower heads and ultra-low flush toilets. Take shorter showers. Never use your toilet as a waste basket. Turn off the water while brushing your teeth or shaving. Defrost frozen food in the refrigerator. Rinse vegetables in a full sink or pan of water. Fully load your dishwasher. Rinse dishes in a full sink or pan of water. Wash full loads of clothes. Ways to save water outdoors. Don't overwater landscaping. Water your lawn or garden early in the morning or late in the evening. Adjust sprinklers so that they don't water the sidewalk or street. Don't water on cool, rainy or windy days. Use shrubs and ground cover to reduce the amount of grass. Use a pool cover to cut down on water evaporation. Use a bucket instead of a hose to wash your car. Use a broom rather than a hose to clean sidewalks, driveways, loading docks and parking lots.